Welcome to the Frandreview. This episode, we will be reviewing Power Rangers. Directed by Dean Israelite and starring Bryan Cranston, Bill Hader, Elizabeth Banks, and Roy from The Office.
Power Rangers revolves around 5 teenage kids who all go to detention, and then the one kid defends the other kid, and then the kid takes him to a quarry, and then they go mining, and they find some coins with the other kids, and then the coins turn them into the Power Rangers, and then they fight an evil space witch with her giant monster made of liquid gold. That's Power Rangers. That's basically it. I don't really know how otherwise to summarize this movie.
I really wanted to like this movie. Power Rangers is one of my all-time favorite nostalgia thrills. So when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was really excited, and it kind of fell flat for me overall.
I fucking loved this movie. I've never been a Power Rangers fan, and even when I was a kid, I wasn't a Power Rangers fan. I was this dickhead kid. I was actually watching a James Rolfe video, like an angry video game nerd video, where he was talking about the Power Rangers, and he had the exact same experience that I did. When I was a kid, I was always like, Power Rangers are fucking stupid. Like, I had some friends who liked them, but I was always like, that's fucking lame. Meanwhile, I'm at home and on my high fucking chair watching Japanese Godzilla movies and all that bullshit, which is like exactly the same thing. So like, I don't know why Power Rangers escaped my fucking grasp when I was a kid. But anyways, it's something that I never really built an appreciation for. I'm familiar with the source material. Like, I kind of know the backstories. I've seen the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and I've seen the Turbo movie, and that stuff. I'm not super deep into the lore. So anyways, I kind of went into this movie expecting one of two things. I thought either it was going to be really good in the vein of like the Dark Knight good. I thought they were going to like reboot the Power Rangers in like a Dark Knight sense. And I was kind of scared about that because I was like, well, the Power Rangers aren't the Dark Knight. So like if it's really good and it gets critically hailed, I would be disappointed in that because the Power Rangers aren't supposed to be critically hailed. Like, it would kind of defeat the purpose, I feel. Or I felt like the movie was going to be absolute garbage, hot trash, and I was just going to hate it, and I was going to be like, this is just CGI bore fest, everything's fucking awful, acting's awful, and all that shit. And I was going to walk out and just hating it. And that is not what happened at all. The movie hit this beautiful middle ground for me. It kind of celebrated what made Power Rangers, what made people love Power Rangers in the first place, I feel, but then brought it into the modern era and just kind of adulted it enough and kind of matured it enough to make it accessible and digestible. Is that a thing? Digestible to modern audiences with our current like hyper like oversaturated superhero market.
So a few things I liked about the movie. So just overall, the acting was way better than I expected. No one particularly really stood out to me, but nothing stood out as really bad either. So that was definitely a positive.
The first thing I gotta praise is the acting in this movie. So the main Power Rangers are 5 no-name actors. I at least I've never seen them in anything else, and I thought they fucking did such a good job. Like, I was expecting 100% to go into this movie and kind of be rolling my eyes at the acting because, like, how do you make these characters believable and like make me care for them? Because I mean, it's a pretty ridiculous concept, and like I was ready for. I guess it wasn't even that. Not even rolling eyes. I was ready for the cheese. I was really ready for the cheese and to be like accepting of the cheese, but the cheese wasn't really all there. Like, it was pretty straight cut, pretty good. And all 5 of them, I thought all 5 of them did a super job. I mean, the writing in parts wasn't the best, but I felt like each actor, with what they got in every scene, fucking did the best that they could. And even when the writing wasn't like the best ever, they made it work, which was fucking awesome. And that's like a testament to these actors, because I mean, like, you get 2 kinds of things. You get good actors who get bad scripts, and then that turns them into bad actors. But I think the best actors are actors who can act out a bad, or not. I'm not gonna say the script's bad, but I mean, like, this script isn't a magnum opus by any means, but like, these kids made it fucking work, and it was awesome.
It was really cool seeing the Power Rangers on screen again. That was awesome. The suits looked pretty badass, and so did the dinosaur robot things, the Zoids, whatever the hell they're called. They looked really cool. I feel like there could have been more there, but they didn't fail. Like, it wasn't CGI garbage. It was actually pretty cool. So I liked getting to see these things from my childhood on screen again. That was a really awesome thrill.
So the movie strayed from the original Power Rangers pretty big. From what I can remember, the original team were all very... None of them were flawed in any way. Like, if I remember it, like the two, like the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger, I think they were like these karate masters and these super popular guys at their school, and everybody loved them and thought they were awesome. And then the two girl Power Rangers, they were also like super popular and everybody loved them, and like head of the cheerleading squad and that kind of stuff. It was only the Blue Ranger I remember. He was like a nerd and he kind of got picked on, but he was still like really endearing and there was nothing really wrong with him. He was just really, really smart and people didn't like him because he was so smart. So in this movie, that's not what's happening at all. We meet the Power Rangers before they get their suits and shit when they're in school and they've all got detention for various reasons. And I felt like it really humanized them. It made them obviously way more believable than they were in the show. I mean, the Blue Power Ranger, he was a kid who he said he was on the spectrum, so I'm assuming he meant the autism spectrum. So that was kind of cool. They brought that to light. They had a girl who the Yellow Ranger, they kind of hinted at the fact that she might be gay. I mean, I think they did more than hinted at it, but so that was cool. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the first superhero movie to have an openly gay character, as far as I know, at least a big budget like Hollywood one. So that was really cool. The Red Ranger was a jock, but like he didn't fucking care about, like he didn't want to play football and he just wanted to like raise hell. So that was really cool. He was like looking for his moment to shine. And there was actually a really cool situation. I mean, the situation in the movie was very high school, but I thought it was true to high school. It's like a side you never like. I feel like high school movies is always portrayed really like hyper exaggerated, like Mean Girls and shit, where it's like I don't really buy it, and the situation's just like the Burn Book and shit. Like that's not real stuff that exists. But in this movie, there's the Pink Ranger. We find out that she, out of spite for one of her friends, shared what I'm going to assume was like a nude picture of one of her friends, a private picture. And this kind of, you can tell that this kind of ruined this, well, not ruined this one girl's life, but it affected her very negatively and people treated her differently. And the Pink Ranger felt really remorseful for that. And I thought that was a really real situation that happens in high schools that you just don't see. And I really appreciated them throwing that kind of thing in. And I really bought these kids and the fact that they were in high school and that kind of shit. I thought that was really good.
And the fight at the end was pretty sweet. I'll give the movie that. It was pretty satisfying fight at the end, and the whole fucking slap out into space was funny and over the top, and I liked that. It was very Power Rangers to me.
The action in the movie I thought was really, really good for the most part. I mean, the movie kind of fell into the shaky cam trap a couple times, especially more towards like the beginning of the film. It kind of went away towards the end, which I hate. I don't understand why the camera always has to be fucking shake. The camera always has to be fucking shake.
Camera always has to be fucking shaking.
When they're walking and when they're sitting down and when they're everything. Just smooth it out. Let me see what's happening. Let me take it in. Like, I get it. You're a filmmaker. You're a cinematographer. You're so good at what you do. Look at, you're capturing life and how real it is. Look, it's so real. Stop. Just film what you're filming and let me see and take it in. Like, I just stop the over shaky cam. It's fucking done. Done with that shit.
On to the issues that I had with this movie. First and foremost would be the pacing. I really felt like it didn't pick up at the points where I wanted it to pick up. And while the payoff at the end was really satisfying, you know, seeing them finally morph into their suits and there's all the badass action, I feel like it came a little bit too late. There were definitely issues as far as, you know, action and no action. Like, you thought things were going to pick up and then they didn't. And that was a real disappointment to me. I mean, I wanted things to, you know, start going, and then they kind of fell flat again and got bogged down in the teenage drama, which would be okay if it was more geared towards an older audience. But I feel like Power Rangers is something that's supposed to be for, you know, younger kids. At least that's what it was to my generation anyways. And getting bogged down in all the teenage drama, I think, kind of took away from that. Let's take a moment and talk about that teenage drama, because that was also a major issue that I had. Because to me, the Power Rangers are meant to be for a younger audience. So I'm thinking like, 5 to 12 years old kind of thing. And to me, this movie was either way too adult or didn't take that step far enough. So it was kind of hitting the like 10 to 14-year-old audience, which is fine, but it's just not what the Power Rangers typically were to me. So I would have liked to either see, going more adult and see, instead of, stopping on the swear words and like the action isn't really all that bloody or gory, I guess. They could have taken that further and made it a bit more of an adult, like teen movie, or they could have stepped it back, taken out some of that high school drama stuff.
And now back to One Tree Hill.
Dude, let me tell you something. There is nothing that'll ever happen in the rest of our lives that's as important as what's going on right here, right now in high school by these lockers.
I've got so many problems.
Hey, nothing that can't be fixed by staring at a lake.
High school is such a serious thing. These problems matter.
And made it more relatable to kids, which I think also would have been a step in the right direction. Just because, there were kids at the movie with us that were behind us, and I could hear them in the back for like 3/4 of the movie. Where are the Power Rangers? Where are the Power Rangers? When are they going to be on screen? And they didn't really care about the drama. Neither did I. And they just wanted to see the Power Rangers. So in that regard, it was definitely a big failure for me. I really would have liked to see, again, either more adult or geared more towards the kids, because the kind of half step they took just didn't really work.
All right, so I did have a few little gripes with this movie. The first one I want to bring up, my biggest gripe, I thought this movie would have been a really great opportunity for some brand new, fresh ideas and some really cool things in production design. And I thought that, kind of for the most part, they sort of missed their mark. I really liked the way the Power Rangers looked. I thought they looked fucking dope, especially the Red Ranger. He looked sweet, and when they do their fucking walk up, when they first get their suits on, it is really sick. I thought the Zords were cool. When I excuse me, when I saw them in promotional material for the movie before it came out, I thought they looked really stupid and like, I don't know, it's like they didn't really look like dinosaurs to me, and I didn't like it. But when I saw them in motion in the movie, it worked for me. Like, especially the Mammoth one, I thought the Mammoth one was gonna be fucking stupid, but the Mammoth one was cool. Like, it was limber and it was mobile. T-Rex was cool. The Saber-Tooth Tiger was fucking the coolest, I think, in my opinion. But so the Zords I thought were okay. It could have been better, but like I thought it was pretty good. My big problem, I think, was with Rita Repulsa, like the Elizabeth Banks character. She's like the main villain. Her minions are like the most generic CGI pieces of shit. They look like pieces of shit. They look like fucking turds. So that I thought was fucking lame. They serve their purpose. They're fucking droids. You smash them, whatever. But that could have been an opportunity to do something cool. Also, her big baddie, Goldar, the fucking thing with the wings. That was also an opportunity to do something cool, but it was just this big lump of like melting liquid and looked kind of like the T-1000, looked like a shitty T-1000 from fucking Terminator, so that was stupid. And also like the Zords themselves I thought looked cool, but the Megazord when they're all together, I like, why doesn't it have a face? Like, give it a face. I want to see fucking expression. Give it some personality. I thought it looked okay, but I thought they could have gone farther and done something better with that. So like, I think the production design definitely disappointed me a bit in this movie.
Yeah, the big thing for me, again, it goes back to pacing, it goes back to writing, is I want to see the Power Rangers on screen. And while the payoff was satisfying at the end, I feel like it was too little too late. I wanted to see the Power Rangers in their suits, kicking ass way earlier than they were. And I keeps coming back to this whole drama. Like, I don't care about, you're a lesbian, your parents don't accept you. Like, yeah, that's fine. This is a Power Rangers movie.
These problems matter.
I don't need to see all this backstory. It really just didn't catch my interest, and kind of, I don't want to say it ruined the movie, because I did, overall it was okay, but it just really wasn't what I was expecting, wasn't what I was looking for. I really wanted to see more action, more go Power Rangers, kicking ass, taking names, that kind of thing, and I just didn't get enough, I guess. It could have been a lot more. That whole like third of the movie that's about how they're so troubled and they're coming together, like a shitty Breakfast Club. It's like either do the Breakfast Club or do a Power Rangers movie. Like don't do a pseudo mix between the two and kind of like half-ass both things. I don't know. Maybe the thing with the drama is that I'm not who this movie is geared towards, so obviously it just didn't hit me in the way that it was meant to be received by the audience. So maybe for someone who is, 10 to 16, whatever, that kind of teen range, maybe the drama really strikes a chord with them and they can really relate to these characters and these problems. And in that case, I think that they pandered to that specific audience really well. And there definitely were, little nuggets of nostalgia that were awesome. The suits were really great. And the original theme song was awesome to have that in there. I would have liked to see maybe something different with the theme song, but it was still cool to see the original as they were, going out to fuck up Goldar. I always thought that was a Kenny versus Spenny thing, but whatever.
All right, and the last thing I want to call out for this movie, and you fucking thought I wouldn't notice, but I fucking noticed. Yeah, okay, so I buy that the kids know how to fight by the end because they spent the whole movie like training to fight and like with Alpha 5 and shit. Not once, except for the Black Ranger. The Black Ranger drives that fucking Mammoth Zord one time. The rest of them never drive those things, never train driving them. And then at the end of the movie, they all are just fucking master Zord drivers. You thought I wouldn't fucking notice, but I noticed. I don't buy that shit. It was fine. It was fine. It was enjoyable. But you don't just hop in a car and fucking drive the thing. You train. Like you gotta, maybe it was behind the scenes shit that they were training on the Zords on the down low while I wasn't watching and they never showed that, but that was an inconsistency movie that I noticed and you should feel bad about it.
Overall, I think I kind of went into this with rose-colored glasses just because I am such a huge Power Rangers fan. I really wanted to recapture that feeling I had when I was a kid and loved Power Rangers, and it just didn't really hit the notes that I wanted. So I think part of that is just because I was expecting more than maybe I should have from this movie. So I don't want to be too harsh just because, again, I think for what it was pretty great, but it just didn't do the things that I wanted to see in a Power Ranger movie.
So all in all, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie. I went in not really expecting a lot, and everything just kind of worked for me. Like, I thought the actors did a great job. I thought the action was really cool. I thought it told a story that I cared about. They expanded upon the Power Rangers universe.
I'm gonna call you Nerd Alert.
In a way that I thought was meaningful. Like, they revealed that Zordon was actually a Power Ranger, and as far as I remember from the show, like, I don't think he was ever that. He was just kind of a head that spoke to them. So I thought that was a cool addition to the Power Rangers mythos. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I was ever really a big Power Rangers fan, but yeah, I think after seeing this movie, I am now a bona fide Power Rangers fan. Like, I am looking forward to the sequel. I'm looking forward to see because they fucking tease the Green Ranger at the end of the movie, so stick around after the credits for that. I don't think I ever really need to watch this movie again, although I will. But I really enjoyed it for what it was. Had a really fun time at the theater. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the sequel.
And we're back. So Power Rangers. What did you think?
I fucking really dug it. I had a ton of fun in this movie. I think there's always that moment when the summer, well, it's not summer yet, obviously, but the weather started to get warmer and like you wait for that first movie to kind of get you into the summer movie mindset. It's like, we're in for fun now.
Yeah.
And Logan didn't do it for me. Kong, to an extent, did it for me.
Logan definitely didn't.
Yeah, Logan definitely didn't do it for me. Kong did it for me to an extent. That movie was lots of fun. But I think this was the first movie that, I'm like, okay, we're in summer movie mode
summer
now.
Blockbuster.
It's fucking time to go. And I just had a ton of fun in this movie.
I really wanted to like it more than I did. I mean, it was good. It was totally, like, I think as you said on our drive back, it was better than a Power Ranger movie had a right to be.
Yeah.
Like, it was totally serviceable. It was fine. It was okay. I guess that was my thing with it. Is that like, I wanted to see more of the nostalgia. When I guess, to be fair, they were trying to do more of a resurgence and like bring it back to a newer audience as opposed to like just do fan service for all the like kids who loved it when they were like 4 and 5 years old back in the 90s.
So, well, here's a question: would you be excited for a sequel at all?
I'll watch it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not
really.
gonna like not watch it, but I'm not like super pumped
Gung-ho.
for it either.
Yeah.
I was really gung ho for this movie. I think that's probably why it kind of fell flat, sort of. So I mean, for me, just going back to like our ratings, I guess I would give it like a 3 or just 3 tiers out of 7 bacons.
3 tiers out of 7.
Because like it was totally fine, it was serviceable, but like.
Didn't quite
And
do it
you
for
heard me complain about the drama. Like, yeah, we get it. You all have such difficult high school lives.
High school is such a serious thing.
And then you know what? It did humanize, like you said, it humanized them, and there are positive things. That just didn't work for me because I don't care about that with the Power Rangers.
Yeah,
I want to see them kick ass.
Yeah, either did it for you or didn't.
I don't need to see a pseudo Breakfast Club. I want to see the Power Rangers kick ass. But
Rangers.
I can get why someone would like it. So
So like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. I think, though, it's weird. It's weird recommending this movie because I remember when superhero movies started really, like a lot of them started coming out, like when Iron Man and like they started really pumping them out, and it was tough to get some people to go to those movies because they're like, well, superhero movies are fucking stupid, and it's like you're like, no, there's interesting drama, and it's like there's a lot more going on here than what meets surface, and then obviously everybody's worldwide phenomenon. Everybody realized that superhero movies aren't these stupid things. Everybody fucking loved them. This movie might actually be the movie that they were afraid of back in the day.
yeah,
Like
it kind of plays into the stereotypes.
that a lot of them, like, it's
yeah.
like they really go for the over the top action and like some of the stupid tropes and like, and so it's tough. I don't know if I can recommend it to like anybody, but I think if you like I've said this with Kong, if you like movies like Godzilla or like Kong or like Pacific Rim and that kind of thing, if you're a big fan of teen angst like I am, like that's another thing. Like, I love teen angst, and that's like I fucking love that shit in movies.
I don't mind teen angst either. That's why I was so surprised that it just fell flat for me. But anyways,
So yeah, but yeah, if you're a fan of teen angst and that shit, and big spectacle action movies, and I think for sure go to the theater, see the movie. I think you'll have a ton of fun.
yeah, I think next episode we will be reviewing Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, the whitewashed fucking Scarlett Johansson. I'm not even say that. I don't agree about this whitewashing bullshit. I'm very excited for Ghost in the Shell.
For this specific movie.
I think Scarlett Johansson is wonderful casting, and you will see what we think next week when we go see Ghost in the Shell.
These problems matter.